come on, come here, come a little closer. Don't be afraid, no, I don't wanna hurt you. Little more, come near, let me just show you. Don't know, can't talk, let me just show you. Don't be obsessive, it could be intensive, it could be explosive, it could be offensive. Don't be defensive, don't be aggressive, it will be a waste cause we could be expensive. You need a little fee in your life, you need a little me in your life. I wanna see the sea in your eyes, you need to be free. Hey.
Move, move, body to move, move your body till you can move, move, body to move, move your body till you can.
You're running through my mind with a shotgun. I'm running out of time, but I'm not done. Yeah, I don't need to run, it will come to me. I don't need to fight, but I keep moving, keep moving. Even what I lose, yeah, I keep moving. Put on my shoes, yeah, I keep moving. There's no room to refuse.
Yes, you've reached the underground. If you found your way here, it's going to be amazing because today we're going to talk about the federal shutdown. And while Washington debates the budgets for around 800,000 federal workers and their families, this crisis is already here. This is what it looks like when a paycheck vanishes overnight. It starts with a quiet, anxious moment of checking your bank account and seeing no deposit. It's a sinking feeling as you realize the first paycheck has been missed. For hundreds of thousands of people, it's a terrifying new reality. It's staring at a stack of bills, the mortgage, the car payment, the daycare invoice, and having no idea how you're going to pay them. This isn't a vacation. This is not a Jet2 holiday. It's a financial nightmare for families who just a week ago felt secure in a steady government job. Take a look at this, guys. You know what? You guys might want to see the video too. So let me show y'all this video here. Let's start this thing on.
825 of the government shutdown and more than 1 million federal workers are going unpaid. According to CNN, Friday marked the first time many employees missed their first full paycheck. The situation has forced many federal workers to turn to food banks for help. Some have said things need to change quick.
I would have never thought in a million years that I would have been in this position to have to go to a food bank.
Also, another big concern, top of mind for many, starting on November 1st, millions of Americans may not receive their SNAP benefits. The program helps feed more than 42 million low-income Americans each month.
Okay. Man, y'all see that, right? Y'all see that, right? They're talking about the SNAP benefits and stuff not being available. So question is, like, how did we get here? A government shutdown happens when Congress fails to pass like the 12 annual appropriation bills needed to like fund everything from like national parks to food safety. You know, if they can't agree by the deadline, the money stops. And, you know, when that happens, federal agencies legally shut down all non-essential services. I know I was caught up in this before. This furloughs hundreds of thousands of federal employees, sending them home without pay. Others in job deemed essential, like law enforcement, must keep working without a paycheck. And while Congress has always approved back pay after shutdown ends, that doesn't help a family that needs to buy groceries today. Check this video out, guys.
Is not passed.
The fight over government funding is now a staring contest, and neither side wants to blink.
There isn't anything here to negotiate. This is a routine funding resolution to keep the government open so that we can continue our appropriations work and fund the government in the old-fashioned way.
But Democrats are determined not to support any measure to fund the government unless it extends health care subsidies under the Affordable Care Act set to expire at the end of the year.
The American people are learning how bad this health care crisis is, and they will put tremendous heat on Republicans to solve it.
In a shutdown, national parks and museums will have to close. Social Security and veteran services could be delayed. TSA agents and air traffic controllers will continue to work, but without pay, likely leading to long lines and delays at airports across the country. And a shutdown could have an impact on the economy, too. The Congressional Budget Office estimates that roughly 750,000 federal employees could be furloughed, costing $400 million per day. And while furloughs are typical in a shutdown, the Trump administration has urged agencies to lay off some federal workers entirely.
A lot of good can come down from shutdowns. We can get rid of a lot of things that we didn't want.
Federal employees say they are fearing for their jobs. Molly Meunier is with the National Institutes of Health.
I am the primary breadwinner of my household, so we will be tightening belts. We will be eating down to the last bits of the freezer.
Now, members of the military and federal law enforcement will have to work without pay during a shutdown. But by constitutional law, Congress and the president, they will continue to draw paychecks, even in a shutdown, John.
Man, that's cold, guys. So, like, the pain doesn't stop with, like, federal workers. A shutdown creates, like, a brutal ripple effect through, like, entire communities and, like, the national economy. When hundreds of thousands of people lose their income, they stop spending. The coffee shop near the federal building loses its morning rush. The local diner sees the lunch crowd disappear. For small businesses on, like, tight margins, a shutdown could be catastrophic. Okay. Next you'll see, like, services we all rely on start to break down. Like in past shutdowns, it's meant, like, longer lines at, like, airport security gates. TSA agents call out for work. It goes deeper, right? The FDA administration has delayed food safety inspections. Oh, geez. The EPA has to be forced to halt inspections of, like, hazardous waste sites. Getting a mortgage can be, like, held up because the IRS is unable to verify routine income verifications. Finally, there's, like, the damage to, like, the entire national economy. The Congressional Budget Office found that, like, the 2018-2019 shutdown cost the U.S. economy like $11 billion to $3 billion of that was, like, lost forever. And some economists estimate a shutdown could cost up to $7 billion for each week it continues. The SBA has to stop processing new loans, cutting off critical funding for entrepreneurs. This isn't just political squabble. It's like a massive self-inflicted economic wound. Let's take a look at this ripple effect, guys. Let me get us back here. I'm a little slow. Let's see it right here. Here we go.
For our controllers.
And 1.3 million active duty military personnel are set to miss their first paycheck.
Many military families, as many of you know, live paycheck to paycheck. Missing a payday means missing rent, missing meals, missing doctor's visits. You might not be able to pay that medical bill.
The U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said the shutdown is starting to affect the country's economy. More than 4,000 federal workers have been dismissed since the shutdown began. Last week, the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention reinstated 700 employees after firing 1,300, citing a coding error. Many popular tourist attractions have also shut their doors. An analyst warns of long-term impacts if the situation persists.
We don't know how long it's going to go, but you think about $15 billion a week is what this is going to cost. And then as it goes on, you're going to see tens of thousands of people pushed into unemployment. You heard what they said about losing their homes, about not being able to feed their children. This, shutdown is halting key economic reports. So government is going blind. The Reserve and businesses, they have nothing to go on, creating more uncertainty. This crisis is eroding America's economy, consumer confidence, investor trust. Worst thing that happens is this is in addition to the pressures putting on ordinary Americans in terms of the tariffs, this will push a larger number of people to the poverty section.
As the stalemate continues, millions of Americans are bearing the brunt.
Oh, you see it, right? Beyond the economic data is the real human stories that we have, right? The true cost is measured in sleepless nights and heartbreaking choices. Think of the family who just bought their first home, confident in a stable government job, and now they're furloughed, their savings are gone, they're staring at a mortgage payment they can't make. The joy of a new life has been replaced by the fear of foreclosure. They are forced to rack up credit card debt or take out high interest loans, man, just for groceries or digging a financial hole that will haunt them long after government reopens, right? And what about the essential workers? People like the TSA agents, the Border Patrol officers, and correction officers ordered to work without knowing when they'll be paid, right? Imagine the crushing stress of putting on the uniform to protect your country while your own family's financial security is collapsing. Their dedication is taken for granted, their service used as a pawn in a political game. Let me see. We got some more videos for y'all, man. Check this out, right?
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy warning of more air travel issues.
And because of the shutdown, it's causing an impact, a true impact on the pipeline of new controllers that come in and fix the airspace.
And with so many workers not getting paid, states aiming to pick up the slack. In California, Governor Gavin Newsom is mobilizing the National Guard to help support food banks who have lines out the door. In Virginia, the state declared a state of emergency to deal with funding for social safety net programs running out of funding. Wisconsin has yet to come up with a plan to support their programs. A scary situation for Destiny Doonan, who's unable to work because she has to care for her 3-year-old son suffering from cancer.
That's rough, man. She got a 3-year-old son suffering from cancer. This is crazy, guys. Check this out.
We'll have to make some sacrifices. I don't like having to ask for help. I don't have a village, so it's hard.
In Pennsylvania, Democratic Senator John Fetterman said as many as 2 million of his constituents could be in danger of going hungry.
Do you think Americans are just sick of the blame game at this point?
I mean, I sure am tired of the blame game. I just want to open up this thing.
Now, the Senate will not return until next week. The House still does not have any plans to return to session anytime soon. Next week will be the 5th week of this shutdown. And keep in mind, the short-term spending bill that would actually reopen things would only fund the government until November 21st. Craig?
Wow. So it will only fund the government from November 21st if they did reopen it, guys. So what we have here is a crisis that starts in a family bank account. It ripples through Main Street, disrupts the services our country depends on, and drags down the entire national economy. When you connect the dots, the government shutdown is an act of profound institutional failure. Each shutdown erodes public trust in government. It creates the lasting uncertainty for businesses, which might delay hiring or investing. Important research in healthcare, environmental protection, science is all frozen in time. The message it sends is that the likelihood of public servants and the health of the economy are acceptable collateral damage in a political fight. That's all it says to us. I know most Americans can probably see that, they don't care about anything but the money, basically. So, check out this last video.
The previous shutdowns that we think of as being sort of long, disruptive shutdowns, we had one in 1995, one that straddled 95, 96, 2013, 2018, 19. In those cases, you had Republicans looking for something and using the shutdown as leverage, and Democrats, more often than not in the White House, 2018, 19, President Trump was in the White House. But at that point, it was actually, funny enough, Republicans who were looking for something, and they hadn't gotten it through the appropriations process. This time, I think if you look at the sort of the question of who is supporting a clean extension of spending authority, it's Republicans supporting it, Democrats not supporting it. What they want extension of health insurance subsidies is sort of the main thing. And so that's very different. What is the same is that you have, a lot of furloughed workers, a lot of, various services interrupted. I'd say compared to those prior shutdowns, overall, it looks like this is actually going to be, in some ways, broader for longer than I think I'm right in saying probably than we've ever seen in the past. In the past, you had some that affected all of the different agencies. So, the military and the Pentagon, plus all of the domestic facing agencies. And then you had others that only affected a slice of the government, but lasted for a long time. The ones that were broad, typically didn't last more than a few days. This time, it seems like a decent chance that this is going to go on for a while. We'll see, but maybe it's a couple of weeks, maybe it's longer, and we can come back to that. But also affecting all agencies. So when we add this up at the end, at least based on the way things feel right now, it could actually be, one of the biggest shutdowns we've had.
Wow, you hear it. We're talking about this is probably going to be one of the biggest shutdowns we ever had. I'm definitely tending to agree with that in my personal opinion. The only way forward is for our leaders to reach a resolution that acknowledges the immense harm being done. We have to remember that this isn't some abstract economic event. It's about the crushing weight on a parent trying to explain to their child why they can't afford something this week. Okay? It's about public servants who feel disrespected and abandoned. A budget isn't just a document, it's a promise of stability, of functioning services, and of a government that works for its people. And right now, for hundreds of thousands of American families, that promise is broken.